Hello, DeFi Nation. We're here at ETH Berlin at the end of the hackathon, and we're here with, what's the name of your team?
LSDai.
LSDai team. So real quick, some intros.
I'm Dan Matthews of Market Protocol. Built the market making side of this on AirSwap.
Cool.
I'm Tina from Project Hashedge and Yellowhead DAO.
Hi, I'm David from CryptoBug Research, and I helped basically creating some graphic design elements in the project, and also helping defining the slogan and the spirit of the project.
The creative.
Slow pan. This thing doesn't go 360.
Hi guys, my name's Francesco. I'm from the LSDai project, back on DeFi Nation.
Hi, Neil. I'm also from the LSDai project this week.
Cool. And one interesting thing about what you guys have built is basically are combining a bunch of different protocols. So it's a big demonstration of the composability of DeFi. So it's built on Market Protocol, built on LSDai, a couple of other protocols too.
Yeah, we're taking advantage of the Compound project, Compound Finance, and we're also using AirSwap as a way to facilitate the market making and the exchange of tokens between the wallets.
Cool. So can you tell us kind of what the concept is that you guys have built at LSDai?
Yeah, so we've seen over the last several months, like most have, the power of compound finance and also the volatility of the interest rate, particularly around DAI. It's really great to be able to get 5, 11, 12, 18% interest on lending your DAI, but a lot of applications require stability, so we decided to see if we could tackle that problem.
Cool. You want to give us a quick demo?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you happen to be someone who's lending on Compound, you might need to make sure that you're always earning at least 10, 11%. And there's one very interesting project having to do with insurance that needed to make sure that they could pay a 10% insurance bill, and they were a little concerned about the ability to do that and whether or not the rate would go back down to sub 8, 6% down here. So we used Market Protocol to create a leverage long and short product based around the interest rate itself. So the bounds of this product are between 6% and 18%. And essentially, if you'd like to hedge your position, you can go ahead and purchase a short DAI interest token. And in this particular demo, this token would settle on the 22nd of September. So if you go ahead and look, you'll get matched with, at the moment, our market making bot. And ideally it'll give you a price that makes sense. And then you'll be able to make sure that if the rate actually goes down, you will make some money to counterbalance the loss of the interest. Give this one more shot here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the 5.67 DAI price here is based on the current interest rate of 11.67. We've seen this bouncing between about 11.5 and 11.8 today as we've been developing the product. So you take the 6% or the 6% floor, and that's what defines this price here. You can go ahead and use AirSwap to do what it does well, and go ahead and indicate that you're interested in buying it, and eventually this will settle and you'll have exposure to the short side of the interest rate itself.
Interesting. So you guys are basically, what you've just done is you're exposing yourself to the risk of interest rate volatility?
Well, we don't think that we're
Or the
exposing ourselves so much, because we also think that there's people out there who are going to be looking at this side of the graph here, where you have the interest rate jumping up near 16.5%, 17% again, and they're going to want to take a long position so they can earn leverage on that interest rate jump. This product at the moment has roughly a 2x leverage. It's a little hard to explain that in the context of interest rates as opposed to a crypto native token like Ethereum or Bitcoin, but essentially for a pretty small amount of money they could see their position double potentially relative to this interest rate. And if they happen to also be lending on Compound at the same time, they could make quite a bit more upside than others who are doing that. So we're more this third class of product. We haven't built the interface for it yet, but we see automated market making as a very important part of this ecosystem. And we kind of imagine it as something similar to the way Uniswap works, without introducing the price volatility, because obviously the price needs to stay pegged to whatever the interest rate of the lending side of Compound DAI is.
So as a user, it sounds like there's a couple of different things that you can do with this integration. You can turn your variable compound interest into a fixed rate interest.
Definitely.
Right?
Yep.
So you know exactly how much interest you're going to earn and for how long.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can try to make money trading on the interest rate or market making on the interest rate market.
That's correct, and the LSDai project has added a really interesting dynamic to the automated market making, because as you lock up DAI, or rather LSDai, which is one-to-one with DAI, into the long and short tokens that you're going to stake in the market, you actually earn the compound interest rate on those locked up tokens as you go, and you can send those to a wallet that you control, that you can then use to mint more tokens, or you could actually keep those for yourself and redeem them for DAI, lend those on Compound, or buy another product with them. You could even donate them to a good cause. We wanted to give a nod to the hackathon that hosted us this weekend, and we have this particular contract donating to next year's ETH Berlin hackathon prize.
Very cool. So there's in the lending markets right now, there's various different platforms and protocols, and they often have different interest rates. Does this tool help people to arbitrage between those interest rates?
It could, hypothetically. I think this is more about providing stability in any product that it is around. So when you think about taking long and short or derivative positions around dynamics of the market themselves, rather than actual native tokens or other assets, maybe even in the traditional markets like stocks or potato futures, if you will, you have a way to take this thing called derivatives, which have made the world and the markets they've been in unstable in the past, and actually make those markets more stable.
Cool. Very cool. Well, it's been a long weekend here in Berlin. I know that you guys have kind of not slept that much. So I think everybody's ready to go take a nap or something like that. So thanks for coming out and building this awesome product.
For sure. Thanks for having us.